everyone, and welcome to the fourth installment of the JNR Sports Talk Show out of the Monsignor Farrell Podcast Network. So today is Thursday, the trade deadline day. This podcast will probably be getting out to you tomorrow, so the deadline will be over. But right now it's 12:40 on Thursday. So many deals going through. We just got another one. So today's show going to be mainly about the NBA trade deadline, and then we're going to be talking a little bit about the future of the Brooklyn Nets because complete roster shakeup for them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll introduce myself. I'm James Westgate, joined here by my co-host,
Raffaelle Donniacuo.
the great Raffaelle Donniacuo. So getting things started. Yesterday's trade, the Raptors get Jakob Poeltl back. Jakob Poeltl, one of the most underrated defenders and centers in the league. So, Jakob Poeltl back for the Raptors. Nick Nurse, a guy he's really familiar with. He's gonna be playing very great with Van Vliet and OG Anunoby, especially Siakam. If Siakam stays, I'd love to see that core of Poeltl and Siakam as the bigs in the front court for them.
Yeah, for the Raptors, I really feel like there's no need for Siakam to stay.
You think the
like
Raptors are gonna trade Siakam?
I think they should.
No, they definitely can get a good package for him, but
If they're not winning now, what's the point of keeping him,
No, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. They're not winning now. What do they buy? They're bottom of the East, aren't they?
They're the 10th seed.
Still in the play-in. So, if you want to play for the play-in, you just got Poeltl back. Could be a good fit for them, but I don't. It's definitely interesting if we will see Siakam in the next 3 hours get traded.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's stay in New York here. We have Josh Hart to the New York Knicks for Reddish. For a lottery-protected first-round pick, which if that pick finishes in the lottery, the Blazers get 4 second-round picks out of that. So it's a great job by the Blazers front office. And then on top of Reddish, they also brought in, who was it, Ralphie? Svi Milok and Arcidiacono.
Yes, they traded away Ryan Arcidiacono and Svi Milok.
Yeah, we're not going to try to pronounce that name. Svi
Mikhailuk.
To the Portland Trail Blazers. So, I think that's a good deal both ways. I'm not the biggest fan of it for the Knicks. Josh Hart, he's a shooting guard, plays great defense, gets a lot of rebounds, but I feel like you want a little bit more of scoring out of a shooting guard. Josh Hart really cannot shoot the ball. I don't know. How about you, Ralphie? What do you think, Josh Hart? It's definitely not an awful trade at all. No, by means not bad.
It's not a bad trade at all, but hypothetically, that pick does finish in the lottery. It's going to be really bad for the New York Knicks. But I feel like for 10 points a game, giving up a first-round pick is not ideal.
Right, but, you trade him for the defense and the rebounding. But to my point, do they really need the scoring? No, not really. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, all great scorers. So you look deeper into it. Maybe I'm just being a biased Nets fan, and it's not a bad trade whatsoever. But I just feel like Josh Hart, you kind of want some more offense out of him, especially being a shooting guard. But anyway, the first, you'd say, besides the Kyrie Irving trade, the first blockbuster of the last couple of days, 24 hours, the Russell Westbrook, to the Minnesota Timberwolves for D'Angelo Russell. There's a lot more also in that trade. Let's get the complete details up here. But yeah, Russell Westbrook just did not work out in Los Angeles. His argument with Coach Darvin Ham after the game against the Thunder, which led to the trade pretty much. But complete trade deals were to the Lakers: Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So that's a pretty good haul the Lakers brought in. Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker are all quality players. And then also Mike Conley, a guy who's been doing it for a long time, great playmaker.
Good veteran presence.
Exactly. I really like this trade for the Lakers. And obviously, D'Angelo Russell. So the Jazz, though, they get Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones, a bigger guy, center. Fisher won a couple championships with the Golden State Warriors back in the day. And a 2027 first-round pick, top 4 protected. Don't really think that protection will matter in 2027. I don't think the Lakers will be a top 4 pick. So
You
mean,
gotta
yeah,
feel
it's a
bad. You gotta
first
feel bad for D'Angelo Russell now, though,
feel bad. Why?
because he sat out on the Timberwolves. He sat on the bench to show that he was a team player, and then they just traded him away. That's rough.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he's probably happy to be back in Los Angeles, in my opinion. I don't know. But Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, Mike Conley. It's a really great package for the Lakers. I mean, they strike out on Kyrie Irving, but I think that they really, really succeeded in this trade. I think that's a win for them. By any means, I'm a huge Russell Westbrook supporter. I think he's having a better year than most people give him credit for. I mean, his turnovers are down. He's putting up 17, 16 a night. He's from the field, he's decent. And his three-point shooting is not some of the best of his career. One of the best seasons from three. Not that he's ever been spectacular from the three-point range, but what do you think? Who won that trade? Timberwolves, Lakers? I'd
Definitely
say
going to go
Lakers.
with the Lakers.
Yes, for sure.
Landing D'Angelo Russell was huge. Also getting Vanderbilt, that was good. Brings a defensive presence. And I feel like the Lakers just needed to get rid of Russell Westbrook. I feel like he was more of a locker room cancer than anything.
Yeah, next big trade, obviously, the Kevin Durant trade, but we're going to be talking about that very shortly. We're going to bring producer Pitch on when we talk about that one. But the other trades, in that trade, Jay Crowder, the Nets received him, flipped him immediately for 4 second-round picks. What was it, 5 or 4? 5 second-round picks. That is huge. That's a great trade deal by Sean Marks. I mean, people don't value second-round picks, but, I mean, out of 5 second-round picks, I say there's a good percentage chance that at least one of those hits and becomes a great player for you. So for Jay Crowder would probably just be here for the next 20 games of this season. I think that's a spectacular package. Other smaller trades. Thomas Bryant traded from the Lakers to the Nuggets, and also the Warriors are eyeing Sadiq Bey. That would be a great fit for them. The trade was involving Wiseman, guy that the Warriors probably want to see more out of. James Wiseman, obviously, but so those are all the trades pretty much so far. You have Jordan Nwora, also got traded from Milwaukee to Indiana. And also just now, actually, reported by Adrian Woj, we'll call him Woj because I cannot pronounce his last name. Hold on, let's pull it up. The details. It was Jalen McDaniels traded for Matisse Thybulle, the 76ers defensive superstar, you could say. So it was a three-team trade. The Hornets just got second-round picks in the deal. But, so yeah. McDaniels to Philadelphia, Thybulle to Portland, and then the Hornets get second-round picks. Not sure what they gave up. Wasn't revealed yet, but
I don't know about you, but I think that's a great move by Portland to pick up Thybulle.
Yes, I really like Thybulle. I think he's a great player. I mean, seen him lock down the Nets a couple of times in his career, so I really like Thybulle, but time to focus on the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be bringing in the great producer Pitch. Come over here, take your seat. Producer Pitch, welcome to the desk for the first time, joining us here. So me and Pitch are both diehard Brooklyn Nets fans. We are kind of happy with this week, but Ralphie, on the other hand, New York Knicks fan. So, Ralphie, you take it away here.
What I want to hear from you guys is, what's your opinion on this trade? Do you think the Nets win or lose this?
Go first.
I'll go first. To be honest, I think against Dallas with the Kyrie Irving trade, I do see the Nets winning that trade. But if we're going to talk about the Kevin Durant blockbuster trade that happened 2 a.m, I would say Phoenix wins that trade just by a little. But it also doesn't make sense for Brooklyn to keep Kevin Durant at that point because even with Kyrie Irving, I couldn't see us making the finals even. We couldn't even get there with Harden. So there was really no point in keeping Kevin Durant, keeping that money. And now with the amount of draft capital that Brooklyn just brought in the matter of this deadline, Brooklyn has brought in 11 picks, 6 of them being first-round picks, which is it's huge. That much draft capital, that much defense. Brooklyn got so much defense this offseason. Now we're going to have Claxton, Dorian Finney-Smith. You're going to bring in Mikal Bridges, who is one of the best defenders in the league, wing defender, averages a solid 17.
I really like Mikal Bridges.
So you think Sean Marks did a good job?
Yeah, I think.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So my opinion on it, you're obviously never going to win a trade when you trade the best player in basketball, Kevin Durant. It's just not – you're not going to get – right now, you're not going to get players in that are going to equate to what he brought to the table. But Mikal Bridges is super, super solid. I mean, I'm a huge Mikal Bridges guy. He's still pretty young. 6'6". Let's look at his stats this year. Like you said, 17 a game. And he is known for being such a solid defender. 17 points a night, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So I really like Bridges coming in. And then Jay Crowder, Sean Marks did an amazing job with Jay Crowder. I mean, he wouldn't have had a huge role on this team, and he wouldn't have even probably been here next year, let's be honest. So Jay Crowder for 5 second-round picks, that's just amazing job, amazing trade for Sean Marks. And then Cameron Johnson, also a great player. I mean, a lot of people ignoring the Cameron Johnson, that he was in that deal. And obviously the 4 first-round picks, I mean, that's expected when you trade someone like Kevin Durant. Cam Johnson, another guy that puts up 14 points a night. So Cam Johnson will probably be coming off the bench. I mean, that's not bad, probably one of the best bench forwards that you could ever ask for. So in terms of winning the trade, as I said, no, the Nets didn't win the trade because you're not going to win a trade when you trade the best player in basketball. But they definitely got a lot back. I mean, 4 first-round picks, that's massive. You know, people will say, oh, they're so far away. But these first-round picks, I mean, Pitch, you pulled up the years. What is it, 24, 25?
Dude, we got the Suns trade us a bunch of picks that are coming up. I think we have a 26. There may be a 24. I know it was a 27. Everyone's
right. It was
picks are so far away.
25, 26, 29, and 20.
I think it was 27. Somewhere
whatever it was, but there was also a pick swap in there. So
2028 pick
2028 pick swap. So a lot of draft capital coming in for the Brooklyn Nets.
Westgate, I have a quick question for you. This is my last Nets question. Last time we were on the podcast, you said Cam Thomas isn't going to start. Now, after all of these trades, is Cam Thomas going to start?
I mean, I think, yeah. I think Cam Thomas is going to go into the lineup, and I see the Nets probably running it with, I mean, who's your point guard, Pitch? Who do you think? Dinwiddie, obviously.
I got Dinwiddie, Thomas shooting guard. Then I think we go either Mikal Bridges at the 3 or Dorian Finney-Smith at 3. Those guys are both going to be interchangeable. But whichever one, me personally, I'm running Mikal at the 3. He's going to be able to guard those wing defenders. He's going to be able to guard guys like Kevin Durant. You got LeBron James. Obviously can't guard them, but he's going to be able to hold them to not as much as they could produce with one of the worst wing defenders like Bojan Bogdanovic, all those guys who are not the best in defense, but he's going to hold them. Dorian Finney-Smith's there for rebounding also, and with Claxton holding down the middle.
Right. I mean, also Royce O'Neal is going to get pushed out of the lineup, which I love Royce O'Neal. He's having a really solid year, but once again, I mean, you can't complain with him coming off the bench. And I don't really see Royce O'Neal as a guy that's going to take, like, offense and become a cancer to the locker room from going to the bench, but that's just something to look at. But I definitely agree with you. I think running Dinwiddie, Thomas, Finney-Smith at the 4, then Bridges at the 3, and Claxton at the 5. I think that's your perfect lineup going forward. And, I mean, that's really not a bad lineup. I don't know. I mean, people are saying that the Nets are done. It's not a championship-winning team, even though the bench is really good, but it's not a championship-winning team. But I think this team is still good enough to get into the playoffs and maybe even make it past the first round.
Definitely a playing team.
For sure.
I think this team could sneak their way into a 6 seed. Like, I don't think they're. I think the Cavaliers are obviously going to be better than us. They're probably going to.
I don't know if they're going to have to sneak their way into the 6th seed. I think that the Nets are going to be comfortable out of the play-in tournament. In my opinion, I don't know. I think it's still a great starting 5, not good starting 5, and the bench is really solid. You got to have one of the best bench cores in the league. I mean,
I think this is a win for the Knicks too, because the Nets may have just got worse, and that might open up the 5.
That's what I was just about to say.
That's true.
This is gonna the Nets are gonna have to compete with the Knicks for the 6th seed, and if the Knicks take over the 6th seed, we see the Nets in the play-in. I could definitely see them winning the play-in.
Yeah, Knicks.
I feel that saying the Nets are gonna finish 6th is a little bit of a Nets fan bias.
I don't think so.
I think it is. I really don't.
I don't think so.
If you look at the standings here.
I mean, right now they're at 5. The Heat are better than the Nets now, and so are the Knicks, in my opinion.
The Heat are still 9 games behind.
So, I don't know. We'll see, though.
I think the Heat.
The Heat are starting to warm up.
I mean, the Knicks are only 4 games behind the Nets. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Nets play with their new roster. I mean, so trade deadline all covered, and nothing Serge Ibaka actually right now just got traded to the Pacers as a part of the Jay Crowder deal. So it's the last report we're going to have for you guys on today's show. I've been James Westgate, joined here by my producer and co-host, Michael Picciano and Raffaelle Donniacuo. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a great day. We will be back soon.